let's get this started. So I got one of the stepper drivers out. I have my Arduino that has a program on it that's just going to rotate the axis 200, or rotate the stepper 200 steps in one direction, 200 in the other. I have some wires. I have a source for 12 volts at 2 amps. Just some random plug that I had. So let's get this connected. So we'll start off with the J1. So I'm going to connect the motor leads to the driver. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. I need 6 hands. And then after this, we'll hook up the positive and negative for our motor power supply. That's here. So do CC goes there, and ground is on top. Probably can't see that at all, can you? Not that it's that interesting, I'm just screwing these wires into the terminal block. Okay, that looks good. Alright, next we gotta hook up the rest of the motor driver. Okay, now I actually read the documentation. Let's see if I read it correctly. So we're going to hook 5 volts up to our enable, and then we're going to daisy chain that 5 volts to the rest, the direction, and the pulse side. And then the pulse and direction will be driven by the Arduino outputs. This last 5 volts up to pulse or step. We have step on pin 3. 1, 2, 3. Step on 3, direction on 4. So step, or pulse as it's called on here, and here, and direction is that one. That's right, I believe. Okay. So that's all wired up. Connect this guy in. Actually, before we do that, let's set the stepping and the current. So for stepping, we'll just go with the lowest number of steps. So we gotta hit these switches. So that's step 8 is on. 7 is on, 6 is on, and 5 is off. For peak current, we'll just put the lowest, so that's 1, 2, and 3 are all on. 1, 2, 3, so it's already set. Alright, so let's turn this guy plug that guy in. And let's plug her in. So I'm going to plug the Arduino in and then now let's plug the power in on the board. Nothing's coming on. That's great. Oh, there it goes. The light came on. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. About 5 volts. Alright, let's unplug it. Alright, hold on, let me double check the wiring. Alright, so got the multimeter out. Figured I'd actually be scientific about checking the motor windings. So you gotta get the pairs correctly, and obviously red and blue go together and green and black go together. So let me fix the wiring on that. Let's double check. Okay, that's better. Still no chooch. It's like we're getting pulse. Alright, so A plus is black, A minus is green. It was in the documentation the whole time. We have red and blue. There's the deal. Got the red and the blue switched. I should really read the documentation before I jump into these things. That takes all the fun out of it. Okay, let's try that again. Nothing. Still nothing. Alright, let's check this Arduino program. Okay, read some more of the documentation. Basically, I'm just going to remove both enable pins. Because if neither one is connected, then it is enabled by default. Alright, that's better. So none of the enables are connected. We got 5 volts up to our positive direction, and it's connected back up to our positive pulse or step. Our pulse or step is connected to pin 3, pin 4 is connected to direction. Motor's all set. Alright, let's try that again. 12 volts. That's better. Plug in the Arduino. We have movement. You can see that. Alright, let me modify the Arduino program. It doesn't have the right number of steps. I think it's only going 200. And we have micro stepping on, so we need 400 steps to get a full revolution. Let me fix that. I'll be back. So this should do 400 revolutions to get one full revolution of the motor. Sorry, 400 steps to do one full revolution of the motor. Still only going about 1/8 of a turn. Clearly missing something here. I'm sure it's something stupid. Alright, I'll stop that. Unplug this beast. Let me go check one more thing. Okay, everything looks fine in the program. The only thing I can think is if this dip switch is labeled wrong. So I'm just going to try increasing it to 800 pulses per revolution, see what that does. So we need on, off, on. Fewer. Does seem to be moving less. Let's see if that makes any sense. Let's unplug stuff. Now I'm gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna say off, on, off. Off, on, on. I don't know, seems unlikely that it would be labeled wrong, but who knows. So off, on. Okay, it's hardly moving. I can tell it's moving, but barely. So I think we have our steps. That is correct. Alright. I just realized the problem. So we are doing 400 pulses per revolution as per the table. The program is set up to do 400 pulses, but I forgot that it's geared. Which means that it's 10 to 1. I believe it's 10 to 1. Let me double check. My data sheet. Yeah, 10 to 1. Which means that we would need 4,000 revolutions. Let me just make that change real quick in the program to do 4,000 pulses instead of 400, and we get a full rotation. Okay, I'm back. Just increase that to do 4,000 revolutions. Let's wire this guy back up. Step is on 3, direction on 4. 5 volts. Plug in the power. Driver on. Arduino. That's better. Hopefully you can see that. Probably not. Should be able to see the key moving. Seems to be doing a full revolution, so it seems like it's good. Alright. Disconnect this, and I'm just going to disconnect the power because I wanted to be able to try all the other motors and all the other drivers as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the same driver board but with a different motor. I'm going to make the assumption that the leads are, or at least the windings are colored the same on this one. Now this one has a 50-to-1 step ratio, and I'm not going to bother to change the program. So it just won't go a full revolution. We'll go 1/5. And I need to grab here's another driver, same thing, but I'm going to grab this connector off of that one so that I can connect this motor up. Black, green, red, blue. Okay, that's good. Let's connect up our power. So the board power is good. Arduino power on. There it goes. It's roughly 1/5. So it would take 5 times as many since it has 5 times the gear ratio. So it's 50-to-1 as opposed to 10-to-1 on the other one. This thing is a monster. It's awesome. Alright, that's enough for that one. Driver's on. Nope. Yep, similar to the last one. You can see the key doing about 1/5. Yep. I think we'll call that good. Connect it in. Power on. Motor's on. Motor's making noise. Oh yeah, that's loud. So this one is 14 to 1. So it isn't quite gonna make it all the way around. That one is very loud. Especially when it's not moving. Alright, enough of that noise. Red, brown, yellow, green. And by brown, I guess they mean gray. Guess whoever designed this was colorblind. Now I'm just gonna do a little bit of extra due diligence here to make sure that the coils are set up correctly. Awesome. They don't seem to be. Ha, it's because it's not connected. Helps if you connect it to the actual coils to make sure that they're connected. Alright. We have chirpage. Alright, so I guess brown means gray. Alright, this one's got the lead screw with some schmoo on it. Power time. Okay, it's on. Arduino. Yes! Look at that. Look at that. Now that's... I don't know if this one is geared. Yeah, this one is not geared. So it's running 10 revolutions, since the program was set up to set the 10 to 1 gearbox motor to do 1 revolution. So this should be 10 revolutions. I'm not going to count them. Looks like 10. Alright, we'll call that one good. I'm going to put this back on because I got grease all over my finger. Right. Awesome. This one is also geared at 19 to 1. So it does about a half a rotation. I don't know if you can see that. So it's face down. It'll go about face up. Good. Alright, awesome. Steppers all work. Unplug this. Alright, I think that's about enough fun for one day. We still have the rest of the drivers to test out. This small guy and this power supply, which we'll test later. Alright, that'll be it for today. See ya.